It's been 45 years since What's Happening came to an end, and the stories of the cast have taken unexpected, often tragic turns. From devastating health issues to heartbreaking accidents, many of the stars have lived through struggles no one saw coming. One actor's death went unnoticed for days, while another's body deteriorated too quickly for them to even walk. And then there's the story of the actor who lost everything and ended up homeless. Watch this video to uncover the truth about what happened to the cast, both the good and the tragic. Danielle Spencer, as Dee Thomas, was the mischievous younger sister to Roger Raj Thomas on What's Happening. Whether she was trying to blackmail her brother, stirring up trouble with his friends, or squeezing cash out of them, Dee's antics were never-ending. She had two signature catchphrases that summed up her character perfectly. "Oh, I'm telling Mama," and "Oh, you're going to get it, Raj." These lines were her trademark, often signaling her latest scheme to make her brother's life more difficult. As the show progressed, particularly in the third season, Dee began to mature, and her relationship with Raj improved. Things got better, especially after Raj moved out. It was clear that time had softened her, and she and her brother started getting along much more. Danielle, born on June 24th, 1965, was around 10 years old when the show began, the same age as her character. But behind the character's antics, some of the cast felt that Dee was portrayed too much as a bratty, troublemaking little girl, someone who always managed to get the last word or deliver the funniest line, regardless of the situation. While it worked for comedy, it felt disconnected from the reality of sibling relationships. Despite her early fame as a child star, life hasn't always been easy for Danielle Spencer. She's faced a series of life-threatening challenges, yet she has never lost her positive outlook. During an appearance on Oprah Winfrey's Where Are They Now?, Danielle shared some of her painful experiences but remained hopeful. "Even going through all of this, I still know that there's a plan for me," she said. "I'm still here for a reason, and that's what I have to think of." One of the most tragic moments in her life came when she was just 11 years old. In 1977, while on her way to the set of What's Happening with her stepfather, Tim Pelt, the car they were traveling in was involved in a deadly accident. Pelt lost his life instantly, and Danielle was left fighting for hers. She suffered severe injuries, including fractures to her arm, leg, pelvis, and serious facial injury. After being in a coma for 3 weeks, Danielle made a miraculous recovery and was able to return to the set for the next season. To cover the scars from her injuries, her hair was styled in a special way. But despite the physical and emotional toll, Danielle's return to the show was a testament to her strength and resilience. After stepping away from the spotlight and building a life outside of entertainment, Danielle Spencer faced even more difficult challenges. In 2003, she began experiencing numbness in her feet and legs, which led to a diagnosis of a spinal condition, likely related to the car accident from her childhood. This condition required surgery to remove a calcified disc in her spine. The road to recovery was long. Danielle spent 8 months in a wheelchair and endured rigorous physical therapy to relearn how to walk. Despite the setbacks, she pushed through and eventually regained her ability to walk, though she needed arm crutches for support. But Danielle's health struggles didn't stop there. In 2014, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. After undergoing a biopsy, she made the difficult choice to have a double mastectomy. Reflecting on this trying time, Danielle admitted, "It was definitely one of the worst times in my life. You feel helpless, like you can't do the things you want to do, and it leads to depression. But I had so much support from my friends and family." Her battle with cancer was a dark chapter, but she continued to fight on. In 2018, Danielle faced yet another health scare. She had to undergo emergency brain surgery, a result of complications from the childhood accident that had already changed her life. But once again, Danielle showed her strength. She fully recovered from the surgery, though she continued using crutches to help with mobility. Through all these health battles, her resilience shone through, inspiring those who knew her. On the brighter side, Danielle made a bold decision early on in life to step away from acting and follow her passion for animals. She pursued a career in veterinary medicine at Tuskegee University, ultimately becoming a practicing veterinarian. For over 22 years, she's worked in the Los Angeles area, caring for animals and building a reputation for her dedication. Her contributions to the field were honored in 2016 when she was inducted into the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. Danielle also shared her journey in her book Through the Fire, Journal of a Child Star. In it, she opens up about the difficulties she faced growing up in the limelight and the toll of her childhood accident. The book is an honest, inspiring account of her life, highlighting her unwavering determination and resilience. Despite everything she's been through, Danielle remains optimistic. She's grateful for the life she's lived and believes that even greater things lie ahead. Shirley Hemphill, better known for her role as Shirley Wilson on What's Happening, was the sharp-witted waitress who often left fans in stitches with her biting remarks. As the character who worked at the soda bar, where Raj, Rerun, and Dwayne hung out, she was frequently the target of fat jokes. But Shirley was never one to back down. She always had the perfect comeback, making her one of the standout characters of the show. Born on July 1st, 1947, Shirley was about 28 years old when What's Happening first aired in 1975, probably a few years older than the character she portrayed. After the show ended, Shirley Hemphill's career took a turn when she was given her own series, 1 in a Million. She played Shirley Simmons, a taxi driver who unexpectedly inherits a huge fortune from one of her passengers. Despite the show's intriguing concept, it was short-lived and canceled after only a few weeks. Not one to be discouraged, Hemphill continued to perform, mainly in comedy clubs, and made a series of guest appearances on well-known shows like The Love Boat, Trapper John, MD, and Pryor's Place. She even reprised her role as Shirley Wilson in the What's Happening Now sequel series. However, after the show ended in 1988, Hemphill's acting career began to slow down as health issues started to take a toll on her ability to perform. By 1997, when she appeared on The Jenny Jones Show, her health had declined significantly, and she struggled with mobility. Despite her challenges, Hemphill kept working. Her final screen appearance was in 1999 when she appeared in an episode of the TV series Linz. But in December 1999, at just 52 years old, Shirley Hemphill's life came to an end. She was found dead at her home in West Covina, California, by her gardener. The authorities suspected she had passed away from natural causes, and the report indicated that she had been dead for some time before her body was discovered. Hemphill's portrayal of the quick-witted Shirley Wilson remains a beloved part of What's Happening. Her one-liners and sharp comebacks left a lasting impression on fans. She was a key figure in the show's success, and her comedic timing was unmatched. Although her life was tragically cut short, her legacy as a talented and fearless performer continues to inspire those who remember her work. Mabel King, the actress behind the beloved Mama Thomas on What's Happening, was a fixture of wisdom and strength in the Thomas household. As Raj and Dee's mother, she balanced discipline with affection, offering advice not just to her children but to their friends, Rerun and Dwayne as well. Known for her no-nonsense approach and unwavering love, Mama Thomas became an iconic character for many viewers. Born on Christmas Day, December 25, 1932, Mabel King was around 42 when What's Happening premiered in 1975. Likely a bit younger than the character she played, King had a long and impressive career that started on Broadway. She first made a splash as Maria in Porgy and Bess, and went on to star in several major musicals, including Hello, Dolly, as Ernestina, Don't Play Us Cheap, and The Wiz, where she played the Wicked Witch of the West alongside Diana Ross. Before her Broadway fame, King had honed her singing skills in church and worked as a nightclub singer, where her powerful voice captivated audiences. Though her career was full of triumphs, Mabel King's personal life was far more complicated. She and her husband, Melvin King, divorced in 1989 after 22 years of marriage. As she grew older, she faced various health struggles and faded from the public eye. In the late 70s, she had found steady work on What's Happening, but the series ended in 1978 after 3 seasons. During its run, Mabel voiced concerns about how the show was developing, particularly as it began to shift away from the strong central role of Mama Thomas. In 1985, there was an attempt to revive What's Happening with a new series, What's Happening Now, and Mabel was approached to reprise her iconic role. However, she chose to turn down the offer, feeling that the terms weren't right. She was also disappointed by how Mama Thomas's character had been sidelined in the latter part of the original show, and she wasn't interested in returning under those circumstances. Mabel King passed away on November 9, 1999, at the age of 66, after battling several serious health issues. She died in Los Angeles from complications related to diabetes. Though her life was marked by numerous challenges, Mabel's influence on TV and entertainment is still celebrated, and she continues to be remembered as a pioneer for Black women in the industry. Her last two film appearances were in Scrooged, 1988, alongside Bill Murray, and Dead Men Don't Die, 1990. While her career did not fully take off after What's Happening, her legacy from the show and her efforts to push for better representation of Black women on TV remain significant. Throughout the late 80s, Mabel's health began to deteriorate. Diagnosed with diabetes, a condition worsened by her weight, she had to have one of her toes amputated in 1986. But her health struggles didn't stop there. In 1991, she suffered a stroke and was admitted to the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California. That same year, complications from diabetes forced her to have her left leg amputated, followed by her right leg in 1994, and eventually one of her arms. These physical challenges were made even more heartbreaking by the loss of her only son, Larry, in 1996. Despite the toll these struggles took on her body, Mabel continued to show incredible resilience. She had been on dialysis for several years before her kidneys failed, ultimately leading to her passing. Mabel had divorced her husband, Melvin King, in 1989 after 22 years of marriage and passed away alone. Her death wasn't publicly announced until 2 weeks later, and many of her colleagues and friends, unaware of her passing, could not attend her funeral. Though Mabel's life ended quietly, her impact lives on. Fans continue to celebrate her work, and new generations are discovering her remarkable talent. Mabel's infectious laugh, strong presence, and memorable voice have ensured that her legacy in entertainment will never fade. She may have passed, but Mabel King's contribution to the world of TV and her enduring influence will always be cherished. Haywood Nelson, best known for his role as Dwayne Nelson on the hit sitcom What's Happening, was the quiet and awkward friend to Raj, often fumbling through his teenage years with anxiety about girls, school, and his future. His character's signature line, "Hey, hey, hey," became a pop culture staple, often quoted by fans during the show's run. Born on March 25, 1960, Haywood was just 15 when he auditioned for the role, and 16 when the show premiered, making him the youngest and most age-appropriate cast member during its original run. He stayed with the series throughout, appearing in every episode, a feat no other main cast member could match. Haywood's dedication to the role was especially evident during a brief period when his co-stars, Ernest Thomas and Fred Berry, left due to salary disputes. He carried the show on his own during that time. Rumor has it that Haywood even had a hand in naming the show, famously pitching the title What's Happening, and the rest of the cast enthusiastically agreeing. After What's Happening wrapped up, Haywood shifted gears, enrolling in architecture and electronics engineering courses. He made a few appearances in TV shows and movies, including The White Shadow, 1979, and the cult horror film Evil Speak, 1981. He also reunited with his former co-stars in the sequel series What's Happening Now in the late 80s and appeared on Dragnet in 1990. Haywood briefly returned to acting in 2003 with a cameo as himself in These Days. While Haywood preferred a private life, he and his What's Happening co-stars were the talk of the town during the show's peak. Without the distractions of social media or the internet, they managed to keep their personal lives mostly out of the spotlight. But years after the show, Haywood opened up about some of the more personal moments of his youth. In a candid interview, he revealed that he had a huge crush on his co-stars, Danielle Spencer and Shirley Hemphill. He shared that if they had been closer in age, he would have found it very tempting to pursue a relationship with Danielle. He also admired Shirley's sharp wit and fearless personality, calling her someone he connected with spiritually. Perhaps the most surprising revelation came when Haywood admitted that he almost married Debbie Morgan, the actress known for her role on All My Children. Reflecting on their short-lived relationship, Haywood confessed that his immaturity led to its downfall. "It was my fault," he said. "I blew it. I was too young." more interested in driving around with my friends than in spending time with her. If I had been more mature, I would have married her. In recent years, Haywood has lived a more private life. He married Canadia Sky in 2014, a member of a royal family from Saudi Arabia and Dubai. Canadia also serves as his lawyer and runs a company called Skywood, which specializes in oil and petroleum technology. Since marrying, Haywood has kept a low profile, likely due to the discretion required by his wife's royal connections. Although he stepped away from acting, Haywood has continued to play a significant role behind the scenes in the entertainment world. He has worked as a producer, consultant, and part of various production teams on TV shows and talk shows. As of 2024, at 64, Haywood continues to shape the industry in a behind-the-scenes capacity, proving that his contributions to entertainment are far from over, even if his face isn't in front of the camera anymore. Fred Berry as Freddie Rerun Stubbs. Fred Berry, widely recognized for his role as Freddie Rerun Stubbs on the iconic sitcom What's Happening, brought a unique sense of humor and energy to the screen. With his signature red beret and suspenders, Rerun became known for his comedic charm and his unforgettable dance moves. Though often teased for his weight and perceived lack of intelligence, Rerun's infectious personality and his iconic catchphrase, which also gave the show its title, made him a standout character. Born on March 19, 1951, Fred was already 25 years old when he took on the role of the teenage Rerun. The character was initially written for a slimmer white actor, but Fred impressed the producers with his audition. He famously joked, "I'm a skinny white guy," which led them to completely rewrite the role for him. His unique charm and comedic timing earned him the nickname Rerun, a nod to his character's tendency to repeat summer school classes. Fred's on-screen portrayal of Rerun reflected his real-life skills, especially his dancing. He was a talented street dancer and a founding member of the Lockers, a dance troupe that gained national fame after appearing on Saturday Night Live in 1975. On What's Happening, Rerun's character even auditions for a dance group, the Rockets, a tribute to the famous Lockers. Fred's role as Rerun not only showcased his comedic chops, but also highlighted his impressive dancing talent, making him a fan favorite. His popularity grew so much that he legally changed his middle name to Rerun. However, despite his fame, Fred faced personal battles that often went unnoticed by fans. The increasing fat jokes aimed at his character took a toll on his self-esteem, leading him down a dangerous path of heavy drinking and drug use. As his fame grew, so did his struggles with addiction. Fred candidly admitted in interviews that he had spent over $1 million on partying during his 10-year addiction, saying, "I tried to commit suicide 3 times. I just got tired of being tired." At one point, Fred became so disillusioned with his celebrity life that he attempted to walk away from it all, even urging his co-star Ernest Thomas to join him in a strike for higher pay. This behavior, combined with his personal struggles, led to the cancellation of What's Happening. Despite his efforts to leave Hollywood behind, Fred's battle with addiction continued, and his financial troubles worsened. He was known to spend recklessly on cars, homes, and drugs, and struggled with his weight and relationships. Over the years, he married and divorced 4 women 6 times. Even after What's Happening ended, Fred occasionally landed small roles in guest appearances on shows like Martin, In the Hood, Bum Runner, and Scrubs, but his personal life remained chaotic. However, in the early 1980s, Fred experienced a spiritual awakening. After a decade of struggling with drugs and alcohol, he turned his life around, dedicating himself to his faith. He openly spoke about the profound transformation he underwent in 1984 when he rededicated his life to God. "The stress of success got to me," he admitted in an interview with People magazine. "The fat jokes got to me. I was empty inside." Fred found new purpose and peace in his later years. He became an associate minister and evangelist at a church in Huntsville, Alabama, where he felt a deep spiritual connection. In an interview with the Los Angeles Sentinel, he shared how he experienced the presence of God in a way that had never occurred to him before. Fred Berry passed away in 2003 at the age of 52 from natural causes. Despite his personal struggles, his contributions to entertainment, and his journey to find spiritual fulfillment left a lasting impact. Fred's legacy lives on, not only through his memorable role as Rerun, but also through his spiritual leadership and the lives he touched in his community. Ernest Thomas, famous for his portrayal of Roger Raj Thomas on the classic sitcom What's Happening, became a household household name in the 1970s. As Raj, he played a good-natured high school student with big dreams and awkward dance moves. Living with his younger sister Dee and their divorced mother, Mabel, Raj was the intellectual among his friends. He was always chasing his goal of becoming a screenwriter, often scraping together money for a typewriter or trying to impress TV producers. Raj's thick-rimmed glasses became his signature look, making him instantly recognizable as the thoughtful, nerdy character. Viewers loved his distinctive voice, which could shift from a high-pitched, infectious laugh to a deep tone he used to try and win over older girls. Ernest Thomas, born in Indiana in 1949, entered the entertainment world in the mid-1970s. He was a versatile actor with a deep passion for his craft. He made his stage debut in the 1974 Broadway production Love for Love, and later trained at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Moving to Los Angeles, Thomas quickly began landing roles on TV, including appearances in The Jeffersons as Ronnie Walker and Beretta in 1975. His range was evident in his performances on shows like The Brady Bunch Hour and his powerful role as K.Y. Luba in the miniseries Roots. Throughout his career, Thomas continued to show his versatility, with notable appearances in Everybody Hates Chris as Mr. Omar, Basketball Girlfriends as Lenny, and Malcolm X as Sidney. He also founded Bravo Kid Entertainment, reflecting his commitment to creating in the entertainment industry. But it was the role of Raj Thomas on What's Happening that became Ernest Thomas's defining moment. He auditioned against more than 200 actors for the part, and after multiple callbacks and screen tests, he secured the role, which he believed was divinely guided. At just 26, he became an overnight star. The show, which ran from 1976 to 1979, was a major hit, and Thomas was at the center of it. His portrayal of Raj endeared him to audiences and brought him both fame and fortune. In 1985, Thomas reprised his role in What's Happening Now, the sequel to the original show, which ran for 3 more years. Despite the success, the sudden end of What's Happening hit Thomas hard. The cancellation came as a shock, which he learned about while at a newsstand. The abrupt shift left him feeling lost and unmoored. The fame and wealth that came with the show turned out to be harder to handle than he anticipated. Overcome with grief, Thomas spiraled into depression. He turned to drugs, including cocaine, crack, and marijuana, seeking escape in substances that gave him brief moments of euphoria. But the high was short-lived, and the fallout was devastating. He later admitted that the initial rush of drugs was awesome, but he couldn't escape the dark, destructive consequences that followed. Thomas's life took a dark turn as his addiction took hold. What started as occasional use became a full-blown crisis. His wake-up call came when he lost everything. Evicted from his home for failing to pay rent, he had nowhere to turn but to his supportive sister, who welcomed him into her home. It was then that Thomas realized he needed to change his life. Having been raised in the Muslim faith, he found solace in prayer, seeking divine help to overcome his addiction. In time, Thomas made a dramatic shift. With the help of his faith and the support of a Muslim friend who gave him a stern talking to, he turned his life around. Embracing Islam, Thomas developed a deeper personal relationship with God. He credits his recovery and all his successes to divine intervention, believing wholeheartedly in the transformative power of faith. In 1975, he dedicated his life to spiritual growth, a decision that reshaped his entire worldview. Thomas now shares his story of redemption through his book From Raj to Riches: Overcoming Life Through Faith. The book highlights the struggles he faced in Hollywood and the power of faith in helping him overcome life's most difficult challenges. Today, Thomas speaks openly about the love and miracles of God, encouraging others to trust in faith even when navigating the turbulent world of show business. Debbie Morgan, born on September 20th, 1951, in Dunn, North Carolina, made her mark early in the entertainment world. Her career took off with a memorable role in the 1976 to 1977 ABC series In the Heat of the Night. After the show ended, Morgan didn't slow down. She dove into a diverse range of roles that spanned both television and film. Over the years, she has built a reputation for her remarkable versatility and skill, taking on iconic parts in series like like All My Children, Loving, Generations, and The City. Her portrayal in Roots, The Next Generation, further cemented her status as a serious, multifaceted actress. In 1989, Morgan reached a groundbreaking milestone when she became the first African-American actress to win the prestigious Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. This was just one of many accolades marking her career. From television to film, Morgan proved her ability to excel in both formats. Today, she continues to inspire with her dedication to storytelling. Beyond acting, Debbie Morgan advocates for better representation in media, pushing for more diverse and inclusive voices. Her legacy stands as a powerful reminder of the impact talent and perseverance can have, both on screen and behind the scenes. Earl Billings, born on July 4, 1945, in Cleveland, Ohio, is an actor who has left his mark in both TV and film. Though he's widely known for playing Rob on the popular ABC sitcom What's Happening, Earl's talent stretches far beyond that role. His career includes standout performances in a variety of genres, from comedy to drama. In Antoine Fiser, he captured attention with a powerful performance, and in American Splendor, he helped bring to life a film that was praised for its unique storytelling style. Television fans may remember him from appearances on shows like The Incredible Hulk, where he added depth to his character, and the romantic comedy Something New, which offered a refreshing take on love and relationships. Earl's range as an actor is also showcased in his guest spots on series such as Misguided. His body of work is a testament to his dedication and ability to bring authenticity to every role, proving his versatility across both television and film. Why was What's Happening canceled? Despite its solid ratings and loyal fan base, What's Happening was not renewed for a fourth season by ABC. The show's consistent popularity couldn't prevent a breakdown in negotiations between the network and the cast, particularly around salary increases and renewal conditions. As a result, the show came to an end on March 26, 1979, after 3 successful seasons. After the series wrapped, the original cast members continued to pursue acting careers. Many returned to their roles in the sequel, What's Happening Now, while others ventured into new projects across television and film. Sadly, some of the cast members have passed away, but their contributions to the show are still celebrated by fans. Though the series ended decades ago, the memories of What's Happening and its cast live on, cherished by those who grew up watching it.